Having just unleashed a devastating barrage of lightsaber strikes that overwhelmed Vader and allowed him to emerge victorious in the duel, Luke recognized the darkness that had previously consumed his father now worked to push him to the brink as well. Courageously, Luke then devoted himself to destroying this darkness by denouncing it for good. This was borne out in Luke's actions, where he threw his lightsaber away and made the decision he prepared his entire life to make, telling the Emperor he would never turn to the dark side. He was a Jedi like his father before him. Luke's courageous display was then shown the true power of the dark side, with Sidious attacking Luke with Force lightning, quickly overwhelming the Jedi and leaving him to the mercy of the Dark Lord, moving him towards certain death if not for the intervention of Vader. How did this scene go so badly for Luke? It raises a number of questions for us. Why did Luke seem so unprepared and surprised by Sidious's Force lightning? Why didn't Luke keep his lightsaber, if only to block the incoming assault? Did Luke even know that lightning could be generated with the Force, and if so, whether Sidious had that ability? For someone to be trained by Yoda and Obi-Wan, it would seem he would have learned at some point that his lightsaber might be valuable against Sidious's Force lightning. Fortunately, these questions are answered for us within the Episode 6 novelization. The scene wasn't so much a display of Luke's bravery in that he was willing to throw away his lightsaber and face whatever Sidious had waiting for him. It was certainly a symbol of his rejection of the dark side and Sidious's path for him, but it wasn't Luke displaying a willingness to potentially sacrifice himself to the Dark Lord's Force abilities. The truth is, Luke was so unprepared for the Emperor's Force lightning in this scene because he didn't even know that Sidious could produce such an attack with the Force. As the novel makes clear, while agony was the first experience Luke had as Sidious's lightning crashed into him, confusion was just as powerful. Quite literally, Luke didn't know what hit him. Not only had he never experienced or seen Force lightning before, but Luke had never even heard of such a power. In this way, not understanding that Sidious was able to generate Force lightning, it makes sense why Luke would throw his lightsaber away, rather than try to use it as any type of shield. With no other options, and facing the Emperor's barrage of lightning, Luke concluded that because the attack was generated with the Force, he must be able to repel it with the Force as well. With this understanding, as described within the novelization, Luke attempted to raise his arms and deflect the lightning with the Force. Although it doesn't play out this way within the film, Luke was initially successful in this attempt, deflecting the lightning harmlessly into the walls of the throne room. But of course, Luke would eventually be overwhelmed by Sidious's power, pushed to the brink of death. I love this description in the Return of the Jedi novel, as it makes perfect sense that without a lightsaber, Luke would at least attempt to use the Force to block Sidious's lightning. This was seen quite extensively within the Legends lore, with Dooku, Starkiller, and Yoda all able to not just absorb but deflect Force lightning. My favorite example would also be with Revan, who was able to deflect Darth Nihilus' Force lightning back onto her, reducing the Sith Lord to ash. But of course, with Luke's minimal amount of knowledge and training in this area, his success was fleeting. Nevertheless, the novelization provides some excellent answers for us here. Luke left himself so vulnerable to the Emperor's Force lightning attack, simply standing in front of Sidious with no lightsaber to protect and shield him because he didn't know Sidious was able to produce Force lightning. It was an ability Luke didn't even know existed at the time, and thus, it makes sense why he was so unprepared for the attack in Episode 6. So there we have it, Luke's knowledge of Sidious's Force abilities at the time of Episode 6. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions. Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. Or perhaps follow us on Twitter at SW Reading Club for updates regarding the channel. Or support the channel through Patreon for access to exclusive rewards and discussions. If not for me... For perhaps a quick mention would have helped.